13 Pac-10 championships in the past 22 years. 68 individual Pac-10 champions, 16 All-Americans. This is Sophia Hocini, the junior from California, from Murrieta, on the vault.
She had a very nice Yurchenko layout full. Anchoring with that 10.0 start value.
Very focused on the run.
You can see a little bit bent there on the table, but was able to really get enough height to complete a full twist and have a pretty good landing there.
Finishing up rotation 2 here. UCLA on the floor, Cal on the vault. Arizona has been on the bars, and Washington on the beam here in rotation 2, with Arizona State, Stanford, and Oregon State with the buys. Back to the floor exercise for UCLA. Always one of the highlighted events here at the Pac-10 Championships. And this would be Brittani McCullough, who returned to the floor exercise. Very dramatic at Poly back on February 15th, almost exactly a year after rupturing her Achilles. And she got back into form pretty quickly. She tied a career high on the floor at Oregon State a couple of weeks after that, going 9.875. That was a big meet for UCLA as they beat the Bees.
Well, you know, with an injury like that, it's not just dealing with pain. There's a lot of mental toughness involved with overcoming that.
Absolutely.
And on this event in particular, you talk about an Achilles injury. I mean, every tumbling pass will involve using that Achilles, as she starts with beautiful double pike.
Yeah, huge height on her tumbling runs. She just explodes off the floor.
She comes right back with the second tumbling pass. Front full front.
Because of that injury, by the way, Brittani McCullough is a redshirt sophomore, so she still has a lot of gymnastics in her future.
Woo! A great height there as well on the jump and incredible flexibility. Talk about bringing that attitude into their routine.
Just gonna say that. You talked about attitude before. There it was.
You know, you look at a gymnast like Brittani, she's powerful and dynamic, and it's not just in tumbling, it's the dance as well. And I tell you what, I can't say enough how much it is fun to watch these routines. Yeah,
every team has a couple of good performers on the floor, but UCLA, for some reason, and I gotta think it's Coach Valerie Kondos-Field, who allows their personality to come out.
Well, that was why floor was my favorite event. It's the only event you really get to show your personality.
Brittani McCullough, UCLA. Puts her hands in the air. Valerie Kondos applauds the effort. That is a long way back from a ruptured Achilles. And her teammates right there have her back.
Take another look at the last pass. We talked about the incredible height she gets. Very difficult. After 1 minute and 30, beautiful double tuck there. Spots the landing. No deductions.
UCLA's RQS, again, that's the regional qualifying score, and that's how they decide rankings in gymnastics. It's not about wins and losses or who you have meets against. Their RQS, 196.48, second in the Pac-10 and third in the nation. Keep in mind that Stanford, UCLA, and Oregon State, not only the best in the Pac-10, but among the best in the country, all three in the top 10.
And they're #1 on this event, the floor exercise.
Yeah, deserves to be mentioned, huh? This is Elyse Hoffner-Hibbs, the fantastic freshman from UCLA. Comes out of Toronto, and we knew a lot about her at the beginning of the season, but she has overachieved just the way she has picked up during the season.
Well, it says a lot about a freshman if they're anchoring on events. She's confident, consistent, and can really post huge scores.
And anchoring at a school like UCLA with a storied program like this. She is 13th in the nation on the floor with an average of 9.890. Three-time Pac-10 Gymnast of the Week.
Very quick tumbler, starting it out with a huge double Arabian.
Momentum
out of
carried,
bounds.
yeah, right out of bounds.
Yep, couple steps, and of course a 10-4 stepping onto the white.
Maybe just a little amped up in her first Pac-10s.
Coming back 1.5, front full.
And isn't this really one of those moments where a gymnast really gets tested? They have a mental break like that. Now you've got to regroup and worry about it later.
That's right. You've only lost a 10th for stepping out of bounds. So you have 2 more tumbling passes, very important to hit, and they need this score.
Yeah, not only for individual for Elyse Hoffner-Hibbs, but of course the team championship on the line as well.
We talked about it with Oregon State on the beam. You come out, this is UCLA's first event. They started on a bye. They have a lot of adrenaline, and what adrenaline does is make your tumbling higher, quicker, faster, and that's the kind of mistakes you make. Taking a deep breath, comes the last tumbling pass. Beautiful double pike. She held herself together. Nice finish.
Elyse Hoffner-Hibbs, freshman from Toronto, her first Pac-10 routine. 32 out of 33 routines with a 9.775 or better. Should keep that string alive. Be tough with that one, won't it?
You know, beautiful tumbling. Wasn't probably her best, but really not too much deduction besides the first pass.
So we've seen a couple of bobbles. We saw Jamie Lance fall off the beam earlier. We've seen Elyse Hoffner-Hibbs step out of bounds. So far, Stanford, without any major breaks, they look great on the vault. And they're in a bye here, rotation 2. One last look at the tumbling pass by Hoffner-Hibbs.
Beautiful 1.5 to front full.
UCLA with some ground to make up. When we move on to rotation 3, as we send you to break, we give you a quick look at Samantha Wallier, sophomore for the University of Washington, highest rated Husky on this event, the beam.